I mean, we may be overthinking it too. If you think you can do this check with a penalty, you know, we could just book it. That's fine also. But it's up to Clingerton. You're not only the one carrying the girl, you're also the party leader.
You can also, if you are inventive, come up with ways that would either alleviate having to make that test or use it as tools to get extra dice or successes.
Something crazy like 2 people carry her.
Or I make a litter. And
there you go. That would be another one.
all right,
I would say making a litter would give you an extra die to the roll.
There you go.
2 people carrying, I would say, actually would fall under someone helping if they were able to help. I'm not sure if there's anything that would actually help with a laborer test.
But again, pointedly, it's going to put us into turn 12, which is a grind.
Yes.
I mean,
Now, I will say, if no one is hungry or thirsty and you trigger the grind, all you will get is hungry and thirsty. So if you're sick, you'll just still be sick, but you'll also be hungry and thirsty.
I'm gonna go for it.
I'm only bringing her up
For no break.
I'm only bringing her up because I don't know how much rations you guys have. I don't eat or drink.
I have some rations, so.
As do I.
I think I do too.
So I roll laborer.
That is correct.
I get 1 help and any negative modifiers on that.
Well, you will also. Did somebody build a litter?
That would take an extra turn, wouldn't it?
No. If you said you wanted to build a litter, I would actually call that a good idea, which means you don't have to burn a turn to build it. It just happens.
All right. I don't have any random craft skills except for armorer. So
that doesn't matter. Making the litter was a good idea. Therefore, you don't have to make a test or a roll.
all right,
You
then
simply
let's
do
make
it.
it. Thank you.
You all get together and make a litter for the kid. So you would you'd get an extra die for that, and if someone is helping you,
Would you natures come in again?
Nature. Well, if it's in your nature to take part in this activity, then your nature would apply.
Well, I have a nature. One of my natures is laboring, so that's why I'm just asking where do natures come in.
Let me confirm that you can use your nature to help. All right. You may use your nature to help another character if that character is making a test associated with your nature descriptors. So yes, you could tap your nature and help.
Yeah, he's using a labor skill. I have laboring as my nature.
So yes, you could help.
All right, so with help and the litter, I have +3. Now, what is my minus for being exhausted?
That would be 1 die less.
All right, so my help modifier is now down to 2.
Okay. And it is only an obstacle of 1. He's not very heavy. There you go. Quite nice. You take her out of there, pulling her out through the hole. 2 of you do that.
Good.
The other ones. Well, first let me click the turnover. So yes.
So I guess it was Harrick and or excuse me, Klinger and Sir that carried her out.
Yes.
Okay.
And that would trigger the grind, so whoever had that torch, the torch goes out.
Poof.
And mark down the, I think that was a lantern somebody had.
I'm carrying it, and I'm down to 1 turn left.
Good time. We're almost out of here.
And everybody but Sir is now hungry and thirsty. You can eat or drink something without triggering a turn, and that would
Yeah.
alleviate that.
I might as well pop my wine cooler here. It's just a cheap Chardonnay, but it's delicious. So, that's done.
I'll pop my last ration, I guess. Why not?
I have extra if you need it.
No, I think
Now-
I planned perfectly for this adventure.
What I will say, 2 of you are currently out of the dungeon and heading back to the village with Yura. The rest of you are still in the dungeon. Turns will go by if anybody triggers a test, but you can still act as the 2 separate groups. Just remember, any test that you do that triggers a turn, it affects the 2 people that are taking her back to the village.
I think we
And
should
if you-
just... Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And if you make some kind of test in the dungeon, you won't have them there to help.
Is there a reason why we are staying in the dungeon and not leaving with the rest of the party?
No, so we should just leave.
Yeah, I think we're gonna leave with everybody else. I don't see a
Leave?
reason to stay.
Yes, leave and we'll come back later. It's not like the dungeon's going anywhere.
Okay,
you-
so you go ahead.
I was going to say, you are curious about what else is in here, right?
It does not. From what we've seen so far, it does not look like there's much bounty here beyond a pile of bones. But well, you can never tell with these creepy necromancer types. So I wouldn't be opposed to coming back. However, I'm low on lantern light, and I just ate my last cracker.
Oh, I got crackers if you need them. Don't worry, don't worry. But yes, we should probably get more food anyway. Maybe we'll actually afford a good meal for once.
Well, I will
That'd
say,
be nice for a change.
this is how it will work. If you leave, take her back, drop her off, immediately come back into the dungeon, it will be as you left it. If you leave and technically go to town to reprovision and things like that, you will trigger the town phase, which takes you out of adventuring. Several days go by. You try to alleviate any conditions. You up on supplies, and then go back into the dungeon afterwards. But time will have passed, and things may have changed. Bandits could take up quarters in the dungeon after you leave.
Always bandits, aren't there?
Indeed. So here's what I'm thinking. I do like this risk-reward aspect here. Like, I do like the idea we can go up this hallway and find the treasure room and load ourselves down with loot and then bail. The thing, though, is that we really are at the end of our rope. Well, I'm at the end of my rope resource-wise. And we're also at half strength since our 2 burliest members have just carted this girl out of here. So it's really just the squishy guys, just Seth and Maxima for the most part, right?
And Harrick's with us at the moment too, but
Okay. And remind me, Harrick, he's a druid?
he's a cleric.
He's a cleric. Okay, cool.
A-
So, yeah. Still seems like the deck is stacked against us. If we come across anything down here, we're probably in a little bit of trouble. And we only have, like I said, we're low on resources, so it's just going to get worse from here on out. So I don't know. What do you think, Seth?
Being it had been a while since we had played, I will tell you that no one actually really searched that room where you just had the conflict.
Also, it's just to step in as
Oh.
Herrick. Herrick believes that there's always a way. It's literally his belief.
I don't know if that helps us. I mean, I
I'm-
applaud the optimism, but
Look, I'll be honest with you. I'm super tempted to search the throne room because I'm sure we can find clues as to how she was risen.
Not to impose myself as Herrick
Okay.
here, but I feel like Herrick would slap Maxima on the back and say, "In the face of danger, I'm always the first to react."
this sounds eerily like scripted. But okay, well,
Just read
if she's
things that he wrote
outvoted-
down. Just,
It's like watching Luke Skywalker on Mandalorian.
yeah. Well, listen. So Maxima will shrug and confess that she is curious if there is something shiny to be pilfered, she would, it would make her feel better. So let's spend a turn searching this place, I guess.
How bad could it be? Last words, and then we're gonna be eaten by a grue.
Famous last words. Yep. Kill conflict. Okay.
I shout out to Sir. We'll be up in a bit. Give us an hour.
from what? I assumed that we already left, so
Oh,
don't know
I
who you're shouting to.
Yeah,
Nobody,
Tobias have
apparently.
already left.
Yeah, the turn rolled over already. We hear.
Well, they'll just have to figure it out on their own, I guess. So what are we rolling here?
Yeah,
I've got
let's-
Scavenger 2.
Let's roll the die.
All right.
And I'll light a torch if your lantern goes out, so that'll cover us.
Cool. I still think I have one more oil thingy.
You might as well save it.
Yeah, okay then.
To really make a roll going through her room after you defeated her to really find the treasure. It's kind of like a crypt room. The valuables are put out to show everybody, hey, look at my stuff.
Oh, wow, okay. Then yeah.
Yeah, going around through that room, what you do turn up is a value is a bunch of gold coins. That is equivalent to one space pack. It's worth 2 dice. Silver coins. That is 1 die, 1 pack, and it's 3 of them. So basically 3 bags of silver coins.
How many bags of gold coins was there again? I'm sorry.
It is 1 bag of gold coins.
And each of these bags would take a slot? Is that what you're implying?
Yes, the gold takes up 1 slot and is worth 2 dice of wealth. The silver coins, it's 3 that are each worth 1.
Huh.
Gotcha.
There-
Are there... Sorry, please continue.
There's also another one of those silver arm rings. You can wear that,
Okay.
pack 1.
I'm just making a list now, but, okay.
You have to get all that stuff into inventory in order to get it out.
All right.
All right. Well, I mean, I have some room in my pack. I can take it if need be.
I've got 2 slots open in my satchel, and I could probably wear, one of us could wear you already have one of the silver arm rings on, right?
Yes, and I was going to get rid of it soon because it's cheap and gaudy.
Well, we'll wait till we get back to town, because it could be worth something. I'll grab the other one, and I'll wear that on a hand.
And I have a sack, so I have some room, 2 extra slots right now, so I can take some of the gold or silver. Or both.
Okay,
Doesn't matter.
so you've got 2 slots, I've got 2 slots, we've got 5 bags, so I guess we ditch one of the bags of silver? Wait, no, we've got 4 bags. We do. Yeah, we're all set. Okay, so I'll grab the gold because I got to it before you did, because she's quick on her feet when it comes to this part of the adventure, looting shiny stuff.
Well, now, that's perfectly fine.
Just don't worry, I won't take any off the top, just ensuring that we have our priorities down straight. So yeah.
We should
I
be
think we got
buying
everything.
top shelf with that tonight. I take the silver bags. Let's go.
All right.
Taking the goods.
And I also light a torch because the torches are coming out now.
Nice. And my lantern finally goes out.
Now let's get out of here.
That actually did not burn up a turn. You only burn up a turn if you roll dice for a test.
Oh, all right. Let's get out of here.
Okay, then. Yeah, I'm satisfied and full of coins.
Were you checking any other areas?
We should, but I think I don't want to push our luck, honestly.
Well, now, hold on. So you're saying this is just the stuff that's out, invisible?
That was the stuff in that room right here, where you just had that fight. There's still down the corridor this way you just haven't looked at, and something over here.
Okay, well, yeah, then I'm ready to go. If there was more stuff to find, like, under the couch cushions in this room, I'd peek around, but I don't think I want to put ourselves in further risk.
There could be something more hidden in the room, but that is what was out in the open. You can spend a turn and actually loot the place and dump stuff over and really go all out.
Well, we've still got a little bit more light left, don't we?
Do you have any room?
I could always make room for the right item.
Have any room?
And then the
That's
question
true.
turns into, do you want to burn that turn looking for more loot in a room you were just in, or do you want to go check out somewhere where you haven't been and use that turn there?
I don't want to go into another room. It's gonna have skeletons.
Oh, and Kitty. Sorry, cat's in the way.
That's alright. Surprised mine hasn't done that yet.
I mean, Herrick does have the goal, drive out the evil, and I think that's done, right? Unless you think the skeletons are more evil.
I'm pretty sure
assume
once
so.
we killed her, the skeletons went away.
Based on what?
Based on seeing them go away.
Yeah, like they kind of just disintegrated when she did, so.
That
Well,
is
no,
correct.
I'm saying the skeleton of the guy that was inhabiting her went away.
There were also a couple that were just laid out on tomb slabs in that room that also disintegrated.
Well, Jorah's skeleton is still intact, so how can we know they're all not still intact?
Also, why are you afraid of there being more skeletons if your argument is there are no more skeletons?
I mean, you got me there. Well, we don't know. There could be carrion crawlers and stuff. I don't know.
Only so many ways you can be contrarian. You can't be contrarian to yourself.
Data, if anyone could be, it would be you.
And I'll have the counter argument to that.
Okay, well, we can go. This is dragging on, and we got our loot, so I say we just book it.
So,
Aw, kitten.
who would be the
This is not
adventure
a
leader to make the decision?
Well, he's outside.
Our leader left us.
Seth says, let's get out of here. I kind of want to get a good bed tonight.
Maximus says, I'm not acknowledging your leadership, but in this case I happen to agree. Let's go.
You will learn to acknowledge me in time, dear.
That seems to be the consensus, is that you're going to leave.
Yeah, I think so. we're going to leave. I'm not following him out. I just happen to be going the same way behind him.
Okay. And the rest of you leave out through the small hole.
So
And
we
I
are-
presume... Go ahead.
I was going to say, we are sharing the reward with them, yes?
That's up to all
It
of
would
you to have
be.
a discussion.
And I would expect it just in case, or just saying.
Let me just review my natures for a moment.
It's surprising, given that the small woman that wanted this girl rescued didn't follow her out to make sure she was safe.
Well, that's contrary to the nature, so that covers that later.
Right, there you go. Extra XP. Yeah. No, I think she's loyal to the people she works with. So yeah, we'll divide it. Everyone took a risk. We all were in it together.
Whatever happened to Roar, though?
Who?
Exactly.
that was like the older brother from Happy Days at the very beginning of the series.
Walked upstairs and never showed up again.
Yep.
Or something like that,
I'm
right?
pretty sure he shows up in the cartoon.
There was a Happy Days cartoon?
Mm-hmm. They have a
Yep.
time machine and everything.
What the hell is this show?
I'm just glad I'm not the only one to remember that. But anyway, you leave the dungeon, going back to the village of Skagby. They are very happy that Yura has been returned to them alive and all in one piece. Maybe a little sickly, malnourished, but is quite alive. They do reward you. They give you a silver ring. It's fashioned as two serpents coiled around and facing towards each other.
Ooh.
It you can wear it for one. You could put it into store it for one, and it's worth 1 die or cash.
I'm gonna... Does it look like it's, extravagant?
Not really.
Well,
Apparently, it was going to be hers when she got married, but her family is quite happy that she's going to be alive to get married, so they're willing to part with it.
no, who wants the ring, then? Because it looks... I won't say this out loud, but, in my head I'm thinking, that looks very gaudy.
I mean, once they admit that it was their wedding ring, you're just like, yikes, well, no accounting for taste. No, Maximo would be like, oh, we can't take your wedding ring. That wouldn't be right. Out of character, I'm not going to stop anyone else who wants it.
Yeah. Well, just by principle of it looking terrible, I'm not taking it, so I'll leave it to you guys.
I don't need it. Not even there.
So, unless Sir wants it, I can't imagine.
You refuse the ring.
Yeah, I think Maximo would hand the ring to Jorah and say, how about you hold on to this as a reminder to stay away from dark openings in the earth?
In that case, her parents are quite overjoyed that she still gets to have her ring on her wedding day. They invite you into the town to stay. Break bread with them. They also offer you all however much you can take in rations whenever you wish to leave.
Great! Just what I always wanted.
Take for us, then.
Oh, sir.
If you what? I don't have pockets.
Oh, never mind. What if I built you a pocket?
It would probably fall off.
Not if we bolted it on properly with good steel rivets.
Rivets?
Dwarven rivets.
Tree sap. That'll hold it on there.
Yeah. I mean, that's the effect, right?
Yeah.
Might
Like
as well
duct
lick
tape.
this piece of paper. I'm sorry, lick this piece of parchment and slap it on your back.
Well, I was thinking more we'll get pieces of leather and cloth and tie it together.
You mean the things that are holding me together right now?
Well, yes, just make it... Use what's familiar, obviously.
I do enjoy how my 1 second of sarcasm has turned into 5 minutes of content.
We are content-generating machines.
Now then, this would basically conclude the adventure. You are, however, in a town. So you can, if we want, go right into the town phase.
Yes, town phase.
Alright.
Yes.
There is a handout for a town. In the handouts, everybody should have access to it.
That's the entering town sheet that shows the town itself?
That is correct.
Okay.
This is where we spend our next several weeks.
No, actually, it shouldn't be that bad.
Well, I'm just reading the book. The town phase can last a week or several weeks.
Oh,
Oh,
game
okay.
time, yes.
It depends on how much I drink.
Okay, so I've got a question right off the bat. And this has been mentioned before. I don't know if we've actually used them yet, and I'm not sure how the mechanic works, but checks are a thing that you spend, and they're a thing that you gain for doing things, right?
Is correct.
Okay, so what kind of things do you do to gain checks, and then... Because as of right now, I don't think I have any, and it sounds like you spend them to try to recover in this.
If you look under where you
phase.
get your belief, goal, and instinct under character sheet, there's a little gray box that says earning checks and what you do to get them.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you basically use your traits to act against yourself during the adventure to get checks. And then you would use
Okay.
the checks during camp, but no, you didn't really get to a camp phase. But that is when you would initially use those checks to try to do things like eliminate conditions, repair armor that was damaged during a fight, cook food, things of that nature. You can also use your checks when you're helping somebody to mark off a pass or a fail on your sheet. You can
Got
also
it.
use checks right now entering into town.
Apparently, it could be a real disaster just trying to walk into town.
Yes, it can.
Yeah, 2d6 roll. I wasn't joking. I meant that apparently it can be.
Okay, I have no checks, which means that... So, does that mean that I'm basically stuck with this sick condition until the point where I get a check that I can then spend to try to recover from it?
No, because you're going into town. What will happen in town is you go in, you currently have a condition, so you'll say, I'm going to go stay at the tavern.
Right.
And at the end of your stay in the town, you'll make a roll to eliminate that condition, I believe.
Yeah, the inn will give me rest and recover as an activity.
Yes.
Oh man, but we still have all these other things to do before we even get into town.
Yes.
We gotta determine who's on watch. We gotta determine the disposition of the watch, I think, right? Did I just make
Well,
that up?
that's for camp.
No, it's at the gates. At the gates, spend the main checks, determine the watch, roll on the entering town table, then roll again on the appropriate sub-table, dispose of spoiled food, level up, strategize, haggle. you do in the following order, the order that I just read.
On watch is actually for the guild.
That's page 86 of the book if you have the book. Of course, I'm not talking to the GM when I say if you have the book. I'm talking to players or viewers.
But yes,
The guild controls
So-
everything, though. So
that's right. So if we are entering in town, but that answered your question on checks, correct?
Yes. It sounds like any checks that you have stored up at this point when you enter the gates, you spend so they don't like roll over.
That's correct. So if you had extra ones at the end of the adventure when you rescued Yura, you could spend them right now going into town.
where is the guild table?
See there?
Does not make itself known.
I was about to look at that myself.
Well, I mean, it's the first thing, but it's not on the same page as everything else.
Just looking at the index here.
Town events, entering town. Wow, there are a
So-
lot of disasters.
What's our luck that we're going to get a disaster entering this
It's
town?
a 2d6 roll, and it's basically a 2 is a disaster. But
Yes,
there are a lot of
okay.
shit that can happen.
Roll for the guild.
Oh, there it is. 98.
Page 98.
So who's rolling?
I assume this was GM Fiat. I have no idea.
I gotta roll a couple of 6-siders here.
Rolling for the guild, this determines who is like in charge of the town based on these different occupations. Is that what I'm getting?
Determines the watch.
Yes, who's available as well.
Oh, okay.
One is a 5. Second one is a 3.
Settlers.
Correct.
Or farriers. Different
dear.
parts of the horse. Depends on what you want your 1s and your 5 tends to be. We've been saddled with all these farriers.
Yes. The settlers are the guild. We're around right now. Now we are going to enter into town.
Town events. Roll a 2.
Don't roll a 2.
Would you like me to roll, or would one of you like to roll?
I think Klingerden should roll since he's the leader.
2d6.
Alright.
2d6.
D6. It is a peaceful town.
Which is another 2d6 roll.
That is correct.
Well, you thought just because it was peaceful, nothing would happen?
I would hope.
Hey, I just want to say, one of these die roll numbers is natural death of, and I'm just going to leave it blank.
So we got a 10.
Ah, that's boring.
And okay. Hey, you just receive a friendly hello from the locals.
Oh, here's a fun thing. I hope you enjoyed all those free rations you just got.
The
No.
free
Not
rations
again.
are when you leave.
No, I mean from the other people. Before we came to town.
Well, I'm assuming you're doing the town phase in Skagenby, so any rations you take, you don't actually have to buy.
Nice.
Well, any of the rations you came to Skazanby with, though.
Yeah, those get chucked.
Yep,
I don't
your
think
remaining
anybody
fresh
had them.
rations spoil or go stale. So,
Luckily, I ate all of mine.
Oh, my dates are disgusting.
I guess I'll handle Herrick's inventory.
Okay, so
Who only had
peaceful
one.
town. No real events happened. Now there are. See here. Did anybody meet the requirements for leveling up?
I don't believe so.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
So then you are going to want to strategize, decide who's doing what, who needs to do what, as well as then decide if someone is going to haggle.
What kind of town is this?
It is a small town, but just for the sake of things, I am going to say that all the accommodations are available.
Well, no, I was looking at. Sorry. I'm looking at haggling over prices and whatnot. So, would you say like remote village?
Yes. Obstacle 3.
Yeah.
But basically each... Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna give my strategy, but continue with the town description, because I'm curious too.
Yeah, there are several locations in town, which is basically a generic term. But there is a tavern, which is where you meet to eat and drink. You can find out rumors there. There's events there. You can hire help as well. There is the streets, which is basically a place that you can stay, but obviously, do you really want to stay in the streets? You can also hide out there. Flop House, not a very good place, but you do get a slight bonus if you're recovering. Then you move up to an inn, hotel. If you have any relatives, friends, maybe even an enemy that is living in the quote unquote remote village, you could even stay with them. You can visit temples and shrines. Which would allow you to do different things. The marketplace is obviously where you're going to go to buy stuff. Guild Hall is where you would go to have things made, find work, or hire apprentices.
Just want to
But
also point out this one sentence, which will also apply to everything he's telling you right now. Life in town is expensive. The longer you stay, the more debt you accumulate.
which is, yeah, that's the next big thing. Everything you do in the town is basically going to have a lifestyle cost. So you can come in and say, I'm going to stay at the inn. The inn has a lifestyle cost of 2. So when you go to leave town, if you stayed at the inn, you need to make a roll with right there an obstacle of 2. Otherwise, something happens with you paying the tab. It could turn into something else happening with a twist. The
Interesting.
exception is the merchant. If you go to the merchant, you pay as soon as you're leaving the merchant, not when you leave town. And what will happen is you will tally up your personal lifestyle costs for whatever it is you do. They're actually showing on the sheet. And you will use that treasure that you have on hand as well as any resources that you may have. That would be on your character sheet. It's just like one of your skills or your abilities. But right now, you don't really have any resources, so you're rolling straight off of the treasure.
Okay, well, for my part, I would like to try to get over my illness, my sick, so I would head to the inn to rest and recover.
And I would like to be able to do the same. So, whichever order you want to go for him first.
Okay. Well, what you'll do is just mark down what you're doing, and everybody's going to put down their lifestyle cost. Also, you need to decide if somebody was going to go to the market and if they were going to be haggling. You'll make one haggle test, whoever is going to haggle.
Again, I have 3 haggles, so do you want me to do it?
Now,
Yeah,
bad
that'd be good.
things can happen when you haggle.
What are
If
we
you
haggling
roll poorly.
for?
What's that?
What are we haggling for?
It'll be things like reduced cost.
Also, haggling is always done individually. It's the last sentence of the haggling
Yes.
thing. So you're only haggling for yourself anyway.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Also,
one
haggling
time-
adds a lifestyle cost of +1, so you're paying to haggle.
I
You
have
pay
no
to
reason
haggle,
to-
but you can benefit from it if you do well on your roll.
Okay.
So is anyone going to haggle?
I will also go to haggle.
Okay, and this is a remote village, so the obstacle on this is 3. And I believe, let me see. I don't think you can help each other haggling.
No, it says individual.
Yes.
By the way, again, if you guys have the book, like page 87 is where you want to look, because a lot of these locations, I don't know what the handouts say, because I'm always looking at the book. A lot of these locations have like tables and things you can look at for them about what they mean.
I'm gonna haggle, but I'm looking for the most expensive and beautiful looking piece of clothing or something they have in this town. Because I need new digs.
Then what you would do, there's another handout that is equipment. You would be going to the merchant, is what you would be doing.
I see.
So you would bring up the equipment list and go through the master gear list, and you can take anything you want from there, but under cost it has obstacle. You'll add all those things up, and that will be the obstacle of the roll.
Oh shit.
But you still probably want to go haggling anyway.
And then
Because
you'll use treasure on hand to make that roll.
the haggling stuff says rather than making individual tests, make one haggler test against the entire town. And then when you're rolling on that, that can affect what you're doing when you go to buy stuff.
So do the haggle first, then try and buy stuff?
Yes. You have to haggle first before you go and do anything.
I shall
Alright.
haggle then.
Yeah, we're all
Okay.
haggling apparently, but just remember, it increases your lifestyle cost by 1 while we're here.
Nah, that's alright. I'm extravagant.
I'm going to try to get a better price for that silver torque I came out of the dungeon with.
Well, it's not going to work like that. When you haggle, you're going to roll 3d6 and you're going to get a result. And
Okay.
those results can be anything from a reduction in cost to you pissed off the shopkeepers and they want to charge you more. You could even end up getting angry about it yourself.
Okay, so what's my help and modifiers? I guess everybody's doing this on their own, so
Well,
none.
If I'm reading this right, sorry to interrupt again. You make
Go
the
ahead.
haggling test against the obstacle of the town size, and if you're successful, then you get to choose to keep the result you rolled on the haggling table, or the next higher result. If you failed, you subtract your margin of failure from your results. It's page 87. It is the first paragraph on the right-hand side. So you're making the haggle test against, that whole list of what types of towns there are, the obstacles there. Actual haggle test then determines what the 3d6 actually means.
Okay, so what's the village size modifier?
Well, hold on. Let's just verify this with the GM. This is me, a player, speaking out my ass, but I am reading the book as we're going.
Yes, you are reading that correctly. And I am about to trying to look at the character sheet.
All right, just let me know when to roll.
Okay. So do you have the haggle skill?
I do.
Okay. So you'll go ahead and haggle. And it's an obstacle of 3.
All right. No bonuses on top, so let's see how I whammy. 2 out of 3. Eh.
Okay. So that was not a success.
That could have been a lot worse,
So
though.
it's 3d6 minus 1, if I'm reading that right?
That is correct.
3d6, you said?
Minus
Yes.
1.
-1.
And for, again, the viewer, that's the margin of... that is the margin of failure. That he rolled 2 successes on the op 3, which means a -1.
So it's a 10 total.
A 10. Thriftiness. Add +1 die to resources for your lifestyle test. So when you leave town and you go to make your test with your treasure in hand because you don't have resources right now, you will have 1 extra die.
Oh.
So you'll want to note that down.
Who's haggling next?
Give me a
Who's
second.
next?
I have cat butt in my face again.
Don't look it.
I...
I'm just shocked that I don't have that happening yet with my cat.
Hey, I'm not the one who created that meme. I just love it.
They have no idea what you're talking about, so just show them the video.
I don't know where I have it anymore.
Well, then I shall.
So it was... I'm sorry, +1 die to what now?
Resources when you leave for your lifestyle check.
In the note.
And we were...
Were you doing your haggling, Killigan?
Klingerden.
Yeah.
I think it's just a thing, and I'm never going to know his name.
What are the options?
So you failed by 1. So you're going to roll the 3d6 -1. Nine. You drive a hard bargain. When buying something at the market, take an extra item for the same price. So it would basically be you get a buy one, get one free at the market.
Were you going to haggle, Maxima?
Drive a hard bargain when buying something, take an extra item of the same type.
At no cost.
I don't think I'm going to haggle. I'm not good at it, and I don't really have that much to buy. And we've got a lot of money, so.
I mean,
And we've got our rations paid for.
I'm just haggling because, I mean, if you do good, or I mean, you do great at it, I can get out of town free.
Yeah. Okay, so
I'm
who
rolling.
was going? You're rolling?
Oh, shit, hold on. Hit the wrong button. I put my Ob 3 in as my bonus to die. It's like, wait, no, it's wrong.
That will not go well.
But I am fresh. That does give me a bonus, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Well, I succeed. And rolled a 13, but I think since I succeeded, I can also choose to get one better.
That is correct. 13 is regular customer. Reduce the price of accommodations by 1 to a minimum of 1. If you take it up to 14, it is a good find. Take double the value of one piece of kit or salvage traded in.
Is my torque kit or salvage?
Your torque?
That's loot.
Um,
The silver torque that we took from the.
a treasure.
So no, it doesn't apply to that. Well, then I don't have any kit or salvage. So I guess I'll just reduce the price of accommodations by 1, which effectively pays for haggling itself.
Okay.
Oh no, accommodations. Okay, so I don't have to live on the streets this time.
Yes.
What is a 1-cost accommodation place?
A 1-cost accommodation, I think, would be the flop house.
What about the inn?
The inn is a 2.
I'm going in the inn. I'm paying for the high end.
Okay. Now, this is the part where you are all going to do a bit of bookkeeping and figure out who's buying what, who is going to be staying where. And while you discuss that, I will be right back in just a second.
Well, I have a question. Do you want me to do research on that immortality spell or no?
I thought you just wanted to use it for the money.
We could use it for the money as well, but in my head, I'm thinking I can learn shit from this.
We can become as gods.
Well, no, I'll become as gods. You guys will be my subjects. That's how it works.
Puny gods.
In all seriousness, like, is that something you want to consider?
I'll be back for a few minutes. Carry on.
Like,
Talking about-
and yes, I will let you all become gods too. It's perfectly fine.
I don't care.
Aww. I guess I don't think Maxima aspires to be a god.
That's what they all say at first.
I guess no one's actually posed me the question, so
Can you imagine somebody worshipping you as a deity?
I'm sure you do all the time.
I mean,
Well,
a lady
yes.
never tells, but generally speaking, I just don't see the profit in it. I mean, I'm a simple girl. I like shiny things. I like daring adventure. I like
When you're a
duping
god,
people.
the prophets are other people.
Exactly. They bring you the shiny things.
Profit, wordplay. Haha.
You know, that haggle was kind of a trick. I'm not staying at the inn. I'm going to sleep on the streets.
If you don't have conditions, then yeah, staying just about anywhere. Although if you do stay on the streets, something bad can happen.
No, I see the streets events table. I want to roll on it. That's why I want to sleep on the streets.
Outside of that, I can't really think of anything else unless we want to start looking for rumors or something too, which we probably should do. Somebody.
So that's also a thing that can happen
was
on the
gonna
streets.
Yeah, that was going to be my second question. I guess the next adventure comes from this phase. I was going to ask if we had any plan for what we're doing next, but I guess we just look for quests and stuff here, right?
That is the next thing. There are 2 ways that you can dig up stuff to find for adventures. You can... Hold on, let me find the page here. You can ask around or you can do research. Asking around is going to people you know, either through your family or you work with, mentors. or doing research is basically trying to go into a library, going through ancient texts and maps and trying to find something old and dusty that somebody never knew about that you can go and try and loot. Each one of those will be a test. The asking around will be on your circles, which is one of your town skills, town abilities, I'm sorry. And doing the research.
Again, remember, all these things cost money.
Yes, is Lore Master.
But if you decide to live on the streets, which is free, by the way, and you roll an 11 or 12, you get kicked out of town, but you get a free roll on the rumors table.
Yes, you do.
Interesting.
I think I'll be okay in the inn, thank you.
Yes, we're not all robots.
Can I go ahead and roll my streets thing now, see if I get kicked out of town so I can just disregard everything else?
Yes, go ahead.
You're so happy to get kicked out of town. I love it.
It's a random event table. That's what I love.
Who doesn't love random events?
Oh, look at that. Get kicked out of town, but... wait, was that the right one? Yeah, I think it's the right one. And free rumor.
Nice.
Good for
I
you.
guess.
Rousted. The watch boots you and all other vagrants from town. Unless you're wanted for a crime, which I'm not, in which case you're arrested, but I'm not wanted for a crime. You may not conduct further business in this town. Roll on the rumor events table once for free. So I'm going to go ahead and roll that as well, since I'm here.
That page as well.
Yep, same page, it's on the opposite side.
Rumor events.
You hear a rumor about your friend, but I don't have a friend. Have I?
Hear a rumor about someone else's friend. Everyone's got to have a friend.
Right. Let me see here.
Heard
be
about
honest-
this guy. Is he
I'll
a
be
friend of
honest,
yours?
actually I was hoping for 2 or 3. 2 or 3 is become involved in some unspeakable plot. Not only do you also get kicked out of town, you don't never speak about it again, but you also get the unspeakable plot wise.
You get shanghaied into a cult.
I don't know, I just become wise about unspeakable plots.
You don't have a friend. Is it okay if I use another player's friend and have it affect you?
Sure.
Okay, in that case, Maxima has a friend, Belva Grip the Haggler. You've heard that her haggling ways have gotten her in trouble with the local thieves guild.